All right, let's jump right in. We're always told that to succeed, you gotta have a safety net, right? A plan B. But what if the real key to hitting your biggest goals is actually getting rid of that net altogether? Today, we're gonna dig into this really powerful idea, this whole philosophy for success, and it's all inspired by the one and only Denzel Washington.
So this is it. This is the big idea, and honestly, it's a total game changer. The usual advice, what everyone says, is to have that plan B. Something to fall back on. But Denzel he flips that on its head. He's basically saying, look, you're gonna fall at some point. It's gonna happen. So why not fall forward? Fall towards your goal, not away from it. At least that way you can see what you're about to hit.
And this really breaks it down, right? You can see the two paths right here. Falling back? That's just playing it safe. It feels comfortable, but it can lead to getting stuck, to just settling for, less than what you could be. But falling forward, that's a whole different mindset. It's about taking those necessary risks. It's about looking at failure and not seeing an end, but seeing a lesson. It's a chance to learn something, an essential piece of the puzzle for growth.
Okay, so let's really unpack this advice that, we've all heard a million times, right?
Seriously, think about it. You've heard this from your parents, your teachers, probably your boss. It's standard procedure. And look, it comes from a good place, right? People want you to be secure. But the hidden message, the thing nobody says out loud, is that you're kind of expected to fail. And your main job isn't to succeed, it's to have a soft landing when you don't. It's about cushioning the failure, not pushing through it.
Which brings us to the other way of thinking, the alternative. So what does it actually mean to fall forward? Let's take a look at some, frankly, incredible real-world examples.
Okay, so let's be super clear on this. Falling forward isn't about being reckless or just jumping off a cliff with no plan. Not at all. It's about being resilient. It's this deep understanding that every single time you fail, every experiment that doesn't work out, that's not a step back. It's just another step forward on the path to success. You're strategically embracing the whole messy process.
Just look at this number for a second. 1,000. What does that mean? Well, that's how many times one of the greatest innovators in history failed before he finally got that world-changing breakthrough.
Yup, we're talking about Thomas Edison. And the thing is, he never saw them as 1,000 failures. He famously said he'd found 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb. He was falling forward with every single attempt, learning, tweaking, getting closer until, bam, he found the one way that worked.
Okay, here's another big number for you. 2,600. Any guesses? Well, that's the all-time record for strikeouts in baseball, and it's held by none other than the legendary home run king, Reggie Jackson. And this just nails the point, doesn't it? The guy literally holds the record for failing at his job more than anyone else in history. But do we remember him as a failure? No way! He's Mr. October. Why? Because he was never afraid to swing for the fences. Those strikeouts? They were just a price of admission for hitting all those epic home runs. He was always falling forward.
And really, this is the bottom line, isn't it? If you're not failing, you're not even trying. A life with no failures isn't a sign that you're perfect. It's a sign that you're not doing anything. You're playing it so safe that you're just sitting on the sidelines. If you want something you've never had, you got to do something you've never done. And yeah, that means you got to be willing to fail.
So let's bring it back to Denzel. Because for him, this isn't just some nice quote or a cool theory. This is how he actually lived his life, his career. It's his story.
And this story is just wow. So early in his career, he has this audition for a Broadway musical, and he totally bombs it. He can't sing. He's just not the right guy. Now, he could have fallen back, right? Thought, well, maybe acting isn't for me. But he didn't. He fell forward.
to the next audition, and the next one, and the one after that. He talks about this old saying, if you hang around the barber shop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. Well, 30 years later, he got his haircut, a Tony Award. And get this, it was for a performance on the exact same stage where he failed all those years ago. Talk about a full circle moment.
But you know, this whole idea of falling forward, it goes way deeper than just career success or winning awards. For Denzel, it's about something much, much bigger. It's about your purpose. It's about the legacy you leave behind.
And he paints this really powerful, kind of haunting picture. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing all around you are these ghosts. The ghosts of the ideas you never pursued, the ghosts of the talents you never used. These were things that came to you, and only you, hoping you would bring them to life. And if you don't, they die with you. Wow. That is a heavy way to think about the real cost of just playing it safe.
So, it all boils down to this question. What are you going to do with what you've got? It's not about how much you have. It's about what you do with it. Your time, your talent, your patience, your love. These are your gifts. The real question is, are you putting them to use, or are you just letting them become more of those ghosts?
And the last big piece of this puzzle is just accepting that life is almost never a straight line. Falling forward means you gotta learn to embrace the crooked path.
And Denzel's own story is the perfect example of a crooked path. He started out as a pre-med student, but he couldn't even say the name of the class, cardiac morphogenesis, let alone pass it. So, okay, scratch that. He tries pre-law, then journalism. All while rocking a, wait for it, 1.8 GPA. He was failing so badly that the university basically said, hey, maybe you should take some time off. I mean, by any normal measure, the guy was completely lost. But then, right there at his lowest point, something amazing happened. There was this woman in his mom's beauty shop, one of the town elders, and she saw something in him that he couldn't see in himself. She gave him this prophecy. She told him, you are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. And that one little spark, that moment when someone else believed in him, it helped set him on the path he was always meant for. And notice when it happened. Not when he was on top of the world, but when he had well and truly failed.
So here's the big takeaway, the thing to remember from all of this. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the process. It's gonna happen. And since you can't avoid falling, the only real choice you have is which direction you fall. So I'll leave you with this question. Are you going to fall backward, back into the comfort of what you already know? Or are you going to find the courage to fall forward, toward everything you have the potential to become?